Coming up on AgweekTV, the Trump administration says help is on the way for farmers. Global sugar prices are taking a toll on sugar beet growers here in the U.S. as payments plummet. Do tough times in the ag economy mean we could be facing another 1980s-style farm crisis? We'll talk to an expert. And sheep demand is on the rise. We'll take a look at why. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. A $12 billion bailout is headed to American farmers to make up for shortfalls in the ag economy. The Farmer Bridge Assistance Program will be administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It's expected to be distributed by the end of February 2026. North Dakota Senator John Hoeven, chairman of the Senate Agriculture Appropriations Committee, says farmers are facing many challenges, including rising input costs and the loss of export markets. He says the payments are a bridge to a gap while negotiations for trade continue.
This is really important help for our great farmers and ranchers across the country.
During President Trump's first term, Hoeven worked with the administration to put in place a similar agriculture assistance when U.S. producers were targeted during trade negotiations. Sugar beet farmers are learning how a big dip in global sugar prices will impact their payments for the 2025 crop. There wasn't a lot of good news at the American Crystal Sugar annual meeting earlier this month, but as Jenny Schleck reports, there's still room for optimism.
The economic outlook on the 25 crop is much more challenging than we had a year ago.
Tom Astrup, president and CEO of the Moorhead, Minnesota-based sugar cooperative, told shareholders there's much to celebrate, including a record 2025 crop that follows a record 2024 crop. But there also are significant headwinds due to the realities of the global sugar market. 2025
crop was again a very nice crop. But we talked about some challenges we have ahead, both in terms of demand for sugar and in terms of price for sugar.
American Crystal expects to pay $43.85 per ton to farmers for the 2025 crop, a far cry from the $78 paid for last year's crop or the $83 for 2023. Astrup says there are a number of domestic issues affecting prices and profits, like rising costs on farms and in factories, lower demand, and high supplies. But the biggest factor appears to be cheap imports from heavily subsidized countries like Brazil.
It's been very volatile in terms of the rapid descent of the world market. So it came upon everybody, I think, very suddenly, a bit of a surprise. And so, we're working, communicating with USDA to figure out what can be done to sort of bring our market back into balance.
Astrup says a number of factors are taking a toll on sugar sales, including the rising use of weight loss drugs like GLP-1s, concerns about cuts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and the Make America Healthy Again movement. But Astrup says most consumers prefer real sugar to industrial additives and artificial sweeteners.
We need to continue to find ways to do what we do, to be best in the world at what we do, whether that's cost efficient, whether that's investments in our factories, whether that's investments in our employees, to make sure that we run the best world-class business that we can each and every day.
In Fargo, North Dakota, this is Jenny Schlecht for AgWeek.
Agricultural finances have seen ups and downs this year between protein and the grain markets. But are we headed towards another 1980s farm crisis? Ariana Schumacher answers that question in this week's AgWeek cover story.
In the 80s, we had challenges with Russia. Today, we have challenges with China. In the 80s, interest rates doubled. Well, recently, interest rates doubled here as well, albeit they doubled from record low levels this time, which I think is a difference to be noted.
Interest rates are on the rise after seeing record low numbers before and during the COVID-19 pandemic.
And of course, since then, rates have more than doubled to beat back inflation, the inflation that spawned out of the pandemic. So it's been an interesting time in interest rates.
While there are similarities today to the 1980s, Francine doesn't see us headed towards another farm crisis.
I think there are some things in place to prevent another 1980s type environment. We've got better, number one, I'd say farmers and ranchers are just better at financial management today than they used to be. They learned a lot through the 80s.
Francine says there's also more safety nets in place between crop insurance, agriculture risk coverage, and price loss coverage. He says bankers are also more knowledgeable.
We're much better at helping our farm and ranch clients with their financial management and understanding risk and managing cash flow and repayment ability and working capital and things that we didn't look at as closely in the 1980s.
Land values right now are also keeping the farm finances afloat.
What really created the biggest challenge in the 1980s is land values fell out of bed completely, right? They dropped 50% or more in value. Well, I can tell you if that happened today, we'd have a real problem, of a 1980s-like problem, but I don't see that happening today.
Part of this is because ag real estate as an asset is better understood today.
Even smart money and investors out there realize that ag real estate's a good long-term investment.
In Pierce, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Up next on AgweekTV, after a turbulent year, what will the markets hold in 2026? We'll ask an expert.
When it comes to grain storage and handling, Brock solid bins from Gateway Building Systems are built for the bushel. Gateway's expert team will help you maximize profits and keep your operation up and running. Gateway is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Don't wait. Expand your operation and plan for your future. Call Gateway Building Systems at 800-747-4499 or visit gatewaybuilding.com today.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
At Maddock Ranch Supply, we believe in authenticity, which is why we only sell products we use and those we trust. From fencing to animal health products to the meat we raise on our very own ranch. We're there at every step of the process because we understand how a little help can go a long way in the ranching community. Visit MaddockRanchSupply.com to learn how we can help you make more money on your farm and ranch.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
If you're thinking about upgrading dryers, which I think in today's world where there's so much more corn around to get a hold of advanced grain, we were able to cover for 20% more acres and probably 20% less time this year, mostly due to the dryer.
Our combines ran longer and harder than they've ever run in the past because we actually had the capacity in the dryer. We're Jason and Justin Topp, and we would highly recommend advanced grain handling for any of your grain dryer needs.
2025 turned out to be a turbulent year for ag markets. I met with an expert to take a look back at the year and talk about what farmers can expect in 2026.
China has stepped in with some soybean purchases, which have been long awaited.
The trade war with China has been one of the biggest headlines this year when it comes to soybean exports, but things are starting to look up for the commodity.
It's been advertised that they'll buy 12 million metric tons of soybeans from the U.S. By the end of this year. We got 1 million down, 11 more to go. It's a pretty tight window.
This year has been a success when it comes to finding ways to utilize the soybean crop domestically.
We've had a phenomenal increase in U.S. domestic consumption of soybeans. Our crush capacity continues to grow. So although we may have lost some sales net year on the year to China, we've really increased our domestic usage.
Corn and wheat had a great year in terms of yield, but the commodities are fighting with other countries when it comes to exports.
Record crop of corn, still trying to find a home. A bigger wheat crop this year they were still trying to find a home for. Exports are up for both corn and wheat. Big positive there. The problem is just the number of bushels. Wheat is really competing against bigger world supply, some of our biggest export competitors, especially south of the border with Argentina, with Australia.
As 2026 rounds the corner, MK says Brazil will play a big role in how soybean exports perform next year.
We have had a nice rally so far heading into 2026 on soybeans, but I don't anticipate that's going to be sticking around for much longer until we see sustained purchases from China. The Brazilian harvest is coming online in mid-January. Once we get into February, it's going to be hard to hold on to any rallies because right now we don't see any serious problems with the Brazilian crop. We're going to see another record soybean crop coming online. And private soybean purchasers from China are not going to have the incentive to come to the United States. They're going to be going to Brazil.
MK says biofuel consumption also helped the domestic soybean market. The Minnesota Farm Bureau and Farmers Union held their annual conventions recently. Not only is it the time to elect state officers, but to set their priorities for the coming year. The Farm Bureau's board of directors identified 4 priority areas for the 2026 state legislative session. They include supporting family farms, rural economic vitality, environmental stewardship, and balancing renewable energy with protecting the land.
We have such a great cross-section of members that sit as voting delegates from their counties that, farms of all sizes, livestock only, crop only. And with all of those diverse viewpoints, all of the policies that are brought forward are very well fleshed out.
The Minnesota Farm Bureau Federation is the state's largest general farm organization, with 78 regional farm bureaus and 30,000 member families. Minnesota's Farmer Union members adopted a policy platform at their 84th annual state convention. It includes encouraging elected officials to address the farm crisis and calling for an end to the trade war.
There's a lot of farmers that can't cash flow, and a lot of farmers looking at $100 to $200 acre negative on their, from their inputs to what they can get for their crops. So that's the biggest challenge out there right now is, and the tariffs has a lot to do with that.
The Farmers Union is also asking lawmakers to support rural health care and food programs like SNAP. Fewer acres of wheat were planted this year, but production increased due to stronger yields. Julia Deebies, Director of Communications and Stakeholder Outreach with U.S. Wheat Associates, says the U.S. wheat export inspections have been strong and continue to be since the beginning of the marketing year.
So as of November 20th, we're still seeing about that 20% increase year over year in U.S. wheat exports, driven by a recovery in hard red winter production across much of the growing region, and then some really competitive pricing on the world market.
While the U.S. had a strong wheat production year, so did other competitive countries like Canada, Russia, Argentina, and Australia. But some markets are increasing their imports of U.S. wheat, like Mexico, which is the largest importer of U.S. wheat. In states like South Dakota, DB says they are seeing wheat acres being swapped for other commodities like corn and soybeans, where producers have been able to see a higher jump in bushels per acre produced. Ahead on AgweekTV, the sheep market is seeing a rise while we take a look at what's driving the demand.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, seed smarter, grow stronger.
The Prairie Revolution Ditcher is the new standard for surface water management. The Revolution Ditcher leaves a smooth finished 5-foot flat bottom cut and cuts up to 10 inches in one pass. Throw dirt in either direction, up to 165 feet. Now with the hydraulic cross auger to break up dirt and keep you working faster. Check out the Revolution Ditcher at Prairie.com.
Fertilizer bills cutting into your bottom line? With New Age Farming's Mycomax and Bionic, farmers are already saving $50 to $100+ per acre while building bigger root systems that tap nutrients already in your soil and the atmosphere. Less leaching, more water to every plant, and stronger yields across your acres. See how much you can save. Visit farmfungi.com and check out the Pick Your Profit program today.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
Farming is more than just a job. It's a way of life. It's your hard work, your investment, your future. At Superior Grain Equipment, we're here to protect it all. From durable grain storage to gentle drying and handling solutions. We build systems designed to last, and we stand by you with service and support every step of the way. Superior Grain Equipment, proven solutions to help you grow.
Is this cold weather here to stay? Here's Lydia with our AgriWeather outlook.
We have had northwest upper flow lately. That's how the jet stream has been situated, which has brought in this parade of Alberta clippers, one after another. And we've tallied up some decent snow for this point in the season. Looking at your seasonal snowfall total thus far, Aberdeen is up to 20 inches on the dot. A little over 14 in Sioux Falls, Grand Forks a little over 6, or a little over 10, about 10 and a half, and Fargo a little over 8 at 8 inches. Now, the question that comes up frequently is where does this compare to 1996? That was a big winter that eventually led to terrible flooding by 1997. So I wanted to look at where we stack up versus our snowfall to date, to about early to mid-December in 1996. Aberdeen's pretty close, about an inch behind. Bismarck's got a good gap. 31.7 inches is where you were already standing at this point in the winter of 1996. Close, almost similar, almost on the dot in Sioux Falls. 19 inches is where Minneapolis was. That compares 7 inches above where your 12 inches is sitting right now. Pretty similar in Grand Forks, and then Fargo is far off. We have only seen 8 inches in the city of Fargo. 26.5 is where you were sitting at this point in 1996. Now, keep in mind that some of the bigger snows came on the 1997 side of that winter, which is what really propelled us into those flooding situations. We continue to have a somewhat active pattern here as we work our way closer to Christmas. This map takes us up to the 20th of December. Dry weather further to the south and off to the southeast. Very classic La Nina setup, which is what we were talking about heading into this winter. We'll watch for the highest signals for snow further out to the west into portions of Montana and the northern parts of the Rocky Mountains. Some of that sneaks its way further to the east and continues to give us these smaller snows. Of course, every once in a while, you're going to get one that has a little more organization to it, especially anytime that temperatures warm up a little bit, hover closer to 30, 32 degrees. That's when we can get the mixed precip. Into the following week, now budging up right toward Christmas, is where we continue to watch out for dry weather further off to the south into portions of Texas, closer to Florida. Up to the north here at home and specifically out toward the PNWs where an active pattern is still likely with some small snows. So a little bit above average for your precip chances headed into Christmas. We'll watch what that means for travel plans, of course, as we get a little bit closer. Here's how this all looks when we look at the upper flow, when we look at the jet stream that's allowed this cold air to sit with us. We're going to send that off to the east and work in a little bit of a warm-up, moderate warm-up. Temperatures closer to normal, which is about 25 degrees, give or take, depending on your exact location. Watch how this jet stream is still sitting with us in a pretty westerly or even northwesterly flow. That's what's going to continue to feed in some of these periodic snow chances. As for your temperatures, near normal into the following week, a little bit warmer further off to the south into the southwest, but we cool down once again just in time for Christmas.
Fertilizer bills cutting into your bottom line? With New Age Farming's Mycomax and Bionic, farmers are already saving $50 to $100+ per acre while building bigger root systems that tap nutrients already in your soil and the atmosphere. Less leaching, more water to every plant, and stronger yields across your acres. See how much you can save. Visit farmfungi.com and check out the Pick Your Profit program today.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers 2 solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
As your farm evolves, so do the challenges that come with it. At Superior Grain Equipment, our systems are built to make your job easier and help your grain reach its full potential. From gentle drying to durable storage, get the flexibility to market your grain on your time. Superior Grain Equipment, proven solutions to help you grow.
The cattle market isn't the only livestock that's seeing a rise in demand. The sheep industry is now following suit. I met with some industry sheep leaders to learn more.
We're getting an uptick in prices. We're, short a few lambs really in the feedlots right now.
The lamb market is performing well, thanks in part to one particular market.
We've got, increased demand throughout the U.S., specifically for all of our non-traditional or ethnic markets in the Midwest and the East.
I think lamb producers should be optimistic. They're seeing good, sustainable pricing throughout the industry. I think we're seeing growth in numbers, especially on the lamb side. We're happy to report Q2 shows 17% dollar growth and 12% volume growth across the country, so that's really exciting news.
With more sheep needed, Leopold urges cattle ranchers to think about adding sheep into their operation.
We need more sheep and more wool in the U.S., and it's a great option to add some sheep from a cattle producer. You can really, on an AUM-wise, add 1 sheep for every cow and not, impact any of your grazing. And right now, if you a choice between a $4,000 or $5,000 bred heifer, sheep look pretty attractive. Yes.
Lamb is becoming a more popular protein for young people who are looking for something besides their traditional beef, pork, or poultry options.
Young individuals are looking for a different type of protein as well, adventurous eating. There's a lot of Food Channel. We get a lot of free publicity with lamb on a lot of these cooking shows that go on. So, I think that's driven a lot of this market too. It's looking for something new, fresh, and has a little bit of story behind it.
Restaurant chefs love American lamb when they can get it, and so we're always focused on keeping that in front of them, making sure that they value our product because, that then tenfold, they send it out to consumers for us, and let's face it, they do a great job preparing it.
For more information about current topics in the sheep industry, visit AmericanLambBoard.com. Still ahead on AgweekTV, a Minnesota farmer is honored for his conservation work.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
If you're thinking about upgrading dryers, which I think in today's world where there's so much more corn around to get a hold of advanced grain, we were able to cover for 20% more acres and probably 20% less time this year mostly due to the dryer.
Our combines ran longer and harder than they've ever run in the past because we actually had the capacity in the dryer. We're Jason and Justin Topp, and we would highly recommend advanced grain handling for any of your grain dryer needs.
At Maddock Ranch Supply, we believe in authenticity, which is why we only sell products we use and those we trust. From fencing to animal health products to the meat we raise on our very own ranch. We're there at every step of the process because we understand how a little help can go a long way in the ranching community. Visit MaddockRanchSupply.com to learn how we can help you make more money on your farm and ranch.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
Fertilizer bills cutting into your bottom line? With New Age Farming's Mycomax and Bionic, farmers are already saving $50 to $100+ per acre while building bigger root systems that tap nutrients already in your soil and the atmosphere. Less leaching, more water to every plant, and stronger yields across your acres. See how much you can save. Visit farmfungi.com and check out the Pick Your Profit program today.
When it comes to grain storage and handling, Brock solid bins from Gateway Building Systems are built for the bushel. Gateway's expert team will help you maximize profits and keep your operation up and running. Gateway is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Don't wait. Expand your operation and plan for your future. Call Gateway Building Systems at 800-747-4499 or visit gatewaybuilding.com today.
Friends say the recipient of the 2025 Minnesota Leopold Conservation Award builds community around conservation. The award is named for conservationist Aldo Leopold and honors farmers, ranchers, and forest landowners who go above and beyond in their management of soil health, water quality, and wildlife habitat on working land. Tom Cotter is a fourth-generation farmer from Austin, Minnesota. He grew up doing full tillage on all their acres. In the late 1990s, his dad started trying cover crops in the rotation. By 2015, Cotter had fully embraced reduced tillage and began finding other farmers committed to soil health and sustainable farming. Cotter Farms became the first in Mower County to be certified as a Minnesota Agriculture Water Quality Farm in 2017. Cotter says the honor is a community one.
Every single one of them, we use each other. I give them knowledge, they give me knowledge. We just talk. It's pretty incredible.
Leopold Conservation Awards are presented to private landowners in 28 states. In Minnesota, the $10,000 award is presented with state partners Minnesota Soil Health Coalition and Soil Regen. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Avian flu continues to be a problem, and Farm Aid will distribute more than $1.3 million to support family farmers. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.